G'day, I'm Ben from Catch Pro Australia, and this is Lawn Care Skull Sessions with co-host the bearded lawnsman, BJ. How are you?
Good, my brother. What's happening?
New house, new home, new warehouse.
Fuck
new
yeah.
studio, if that's what we're going to call it.
There might be a bit of an echo in here, but I think we've got a good base here now.
Man, I tell you what, like, this podcast was already raw. This is fucking straight off the bone.
I rolled up and fucking Benny's like, I've got nothing ready. Let's do this. Fucking ninja times.
And so this was not going to be the room that we were going to shoot in. But the other room, I just, so we moved in here on Friday. Today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we were just dumping boxes everywhere. And I had picked a room, but man, I never went back there. There's 6 bedrooms down here in the downstairs section.
Which one's mine?
It's the one on my face.
Oh, damn.
So also apologies if you kind of hear any banging. That's just my family.
Yeah.
They're upstairs.
They're upstairs. Raw and uncut.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking editing that out.
Now, coming up in news, something that we haven't discussed. This is a straight up freestyle off the dome. Leo from Fox Mowing, who is the owner, he has teed up. He wants to do an interview, I think 2nd or 3rd week of June on a Thursday.
Very nice.
So what I figured is you could go to the village, oversee some shit, come back. Yeah. Hopefully I've got my shit together.
Maybe I'm gonna wait early.
You'd have to for us to do it.
Yes.
But,
cool.
Yeah. So
can we get a couch in?
He's pretty cute.
I got some news too, but I'll leave it for a little bit later.
Nah, hit it off now, bro.
You reckon?
Yeah, don't mess with us.
All right. So rumours from the Americans is that our friends over there that still they don't really like to talk to us, but they like to talk to Ferris, and apparently they're rebranding some of Ferris's lower models as still machines.
Okay, they're 0 turns.
0 turns, yeah, dude. So, holy fuck, that's a lot of birds.
Well, I don't even know what type of bird that is.
That's a cockatoo. Just behind this desk.
I thought there would be less wildlife at this place.
It's fucking crazy, man. You're in the bush.
Yeah, we're sort of in the sticks now.
You're pretty close to the cemetery too. If there's a fucking zombie apocalypse, you're fucked. I'm not coming here to hide.
Yeah, so we know some people in there, don't we?
Yeah, man. Fair few people.
So back to the still Ferris thing.
Yeah. Word is that they're going to be orange. So
do you think they'll do orange and white?
Yeah.
I mean,
look,
when Bobcat bought Bobcat, sounds a bit funny.
It does.
Everyone was like, "Oh, I wonder what these black and white machines would look like." And some people didn't like them, but I liked them immediately just because
they're different.
I mean, look, Bobcat was always a little bit different with the green.
Yeah. Like
no one else is really messing with green except for Deere and probably John Deere.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Now, these days you got Greenworks, Mean Green, Ego.
Yeah.
They're all green now. But the only thing that we saw for years was John Deere green.
Yeah. I don't like that green, eh? It's
I think it's just like with the green and yellow, it kind of just it's a very Australian looking colour.
It really is, yeah.
But it couldn't be further than fucking
fucking get it anyway.
Yeah. So but no, look, it'd be interesting to see I think that's like, for me, we know it's a Ferris.
Yeah.
I just think the most interesting thing to me will be the colour pattern.
Yeah, and I wonder who else they approach, because...
I mean, you like orange because you're a skag boy.
Yeah, I like cat's eye gold.
If anyone's watching, I'm doing the tossing sign.
Yeah, I'm a lucky boy tonight, it looks like it.
So, no, thank you for that bit of news.
Yeah,
now,
sounds a bit weird.
Something else, before we get into today's topic, we've got a bunch of great reviews, which means you're in the draw for the Equipment Defender trimmer rack, which we will, about 2 weeks, we'll...
something like that.
We'll draw that, and then...
hopefully we get a bunch more. I know that a lot of people are finding it hard to post up review. Easiest place is Apple Podcasts. That's where most of the reviews come through.
I think we'll get to some comments on YouTube. I think there was a comment on there that someone they loved the podcast, but they couldn't leave a review on Spotify. Now, lots of people use Spotify as a platform.
So fucking Spotify, they've given us the 5-star system, but they haven't given us actually anywhere to review. So the 5-star system is new to them.
Yeah.
But the review is just, it's a bit sad. Anyway.
Yeah, well, if you want this rack, you have to physically fucking write some shit.
Yeah, something nice. Say we're cute or something.
Because even I can click a star, man.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, let's get into a couple of these reviews.
I've learned how to use Ben's computer since I'm not Apple.
That's a lie. He'll mess this up.
Fuck off, I will. All right, so our first one is from Josh Don. And he wrote, great resource. Thanks, boys. I'm 9 months into my business, 4 months full time. And between yourselves and Gary, these podcasts have been a great source of information. And us South Aussies, they dance the pommy way.
Thank you very much. Now, before we move on to the next review, he's mentioned Gary here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Gary is our pod brother.
He is.
But I don't know, I must have said something, and then he said something back on his podcast.
Shit.
I think he wants to have a go.
Does he?
So, I don't know, maybe drop something in the comments or reach out to either of us, and maybe we should mix up.
Fight him?
Yeah. We'll threesome him.
Yeah.
No.
Get the couch out, Ben.
No, he maybe said something about the mulching, catching thing.
Did he say anything about my weight?
No.
Thank God for that.
But he does mulch. What? And he specifically said something about our mulch and catch episode.
Oh, fuck.
Look, I didn't think we were being very biased, but, mulching's just not for us.
No.
Catching's not for him, maybe.
No.
I don't know. Anyway,
each to their own, I say.
Seems like he has a difference of opinion, and I got to be honest, I'm kind of ready for a fight. Like, if anyone wants to interview me and give me shit, just fucking do it, eh?
Do it. Just do it. He's ready.
2 finger swipe. Two finger swipe.
I've got 2 fingers on
it. All right, next review.
Next review is from As G's. Unreal 5-star. This show caters for all levels of experience, from the startup business to the seasoned professionals. As a new lawn care business, it helps immensely to learn from other people's experience rather than learning from scratch. This podcast has helped shape the way we conduct business. An episode I would like to hear would be how to put in tenders for government and council contracts, from risk management software to attending the face-to-face sessions. Cheers, Hunter. So that's not a bad one, but you know someone who's in the know, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've sort of messed around with it a little bit. We do know enough. Look, I probably don't know enough of the technical side.
Now, I think he's left us a review on one of our YouTube platforms.
Okay, I will get to that.
It sounds familiar. We've mentioned that in, unless there's 2 reviews that have asked for the same episode.
Yeah, I mean, people, there's stuff that is on the agenda that people want to hear about.
Oh, I'm scared. It's that government council shit scares me, because they talk about how many cents per square meter and all that sort of shit. And I'm like,
yeah, there is definitely some challenges. I know that I would probably still approach it, maybe in the backwards way of thinking.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the backwards way of, at the end of the day, you're going to charge what you're worth.
Yeah.
And maybe a little extra.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat industry though.
So, in large government contracts, you're really not making your money by having such a large job and necessarily the price on the job. You're earning it off your staff.
Yeah.
Charging them out at X amount, taking X amount back.
Yep.
And it's kind of a little bit like a Catch Pro thing with products and stuff.
Yeah.
We make fuck all off some of the Ballard products and the dry wraps. We might make $6.50 a dry wrap.
Yeah.
But, you do 500 of them a year, and it's a product worth carrying.
Yeah.
Similar in that contract space, but we might come back to that later on another episode.
Maybe on fucking Struggle Street right now around Brizzy. Oh, well, the whole East Coast. But
I just spoke to a guy who he wants 6 Pro Shields.
Yep.
He's got 24 workers, and he's just bought a couple of Altos machines.
The Trax machines.
Yeah, he's just bought. So he reckons a dealership in Browns Plains has the exclusive rights. I don't know how that works.
Wow.
But anyway. you know, he said that he's really lucky. It hasn't affected him, which is fabulous.
Yeah. No. Well, we'll talk more about that in the episode. We got another one from Mowing Pro. Loving it. 5 stars again. I've listened to every ep and it's making a difference to my business. I hope you guys realise how much your input helps it cheer you up on the wet days and motivates on hard days. Route, not route density, is an awesome ep too. I'd like to hear some more on expanding a business, getting bigger and maintaining staff structure, staff to job ratio. I picked up plenty of tips and I can't wait for every new show. Keep it going. Grant Turner, Mowing Pro. PS, the Liberty 36 has changed my life.
Woo! And we thank you very much.
Thanks
for all your reviews, everyone. We do have a couple more there, which we might hit next episode.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's heaps there.
So what we're going to do now is, do we have any other sort of housekeeping? I do have a little bit more, but I thought maybe if we get into the topic.
Yeah, we'll hook into the topic. No, look, to be honest, fucking the topic is basically my life at the moment, so yeah.
Well, tell everyone what we're talking about today.
We're talking about seasons and struggles.
So what we mean by this, everyone, is the fact that, like, you know, we really do have, I mean, look, in Queensland, you don't get much of a winter. You know, there'd be probably some parts of Australia that maybe don't get that much of a summer.
Yeah.
But I do think in Australia, we kind of get all of the seasons. You know, you definitely have your busy season, which is your wet season. You have your cold season, which is supposed to be your dry season.
Yeah.
And you have a few periods there of, like, I call them the glory months. But like for me, it's like maybe 4 to 6 weeks per year.
Yeah.
Now, take into account, I'm not an operator anymore.
You had plenty of years behind them.
Yeah, some of this stuff is, you know, it's hard for me now because, like, I'm talking about things that I used to do and things that I have experienced.
You're only out of the game fucking 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even that.
So, and I mean, I still do, like, you know, through testing and you know, demos and stuff, I still do a ton of mowing.
100%.
But, you know, like, with the season struggles, like, I've just always felt, you know, that, and I've been saying it for years and years, this industry, it's either too hot, too cold, too wet, too dry. Like, it is a bastard of a business.
It's a mind fuck, isn't it?
Now, there's other industries out there that are horrible too, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but, like, if you're an air conditioning mechanic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, summer gets busy.
A roofer.
You know.
Cooking in the sun and then, you know, freezing in the fucking cold.
Yeah, but I'm talking about industries that can still sustain through different courses of weather.
Yeah.
Like, our industry is so dependent on the weather.
Yeah.
Like, if it's stone cold out there, you got nothing to fucking mow.
And if it's too wet, you got nothing to fucking do. If it's not wet enough,
and if it's
too hot,
and if it's too hot, it's so physically draining.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but the reason why we want to talk about this today is to maybe share some of the things that we've been through.
Yeah.
Some of the things that you can do to help. You know, I did put a post up just last night.
I can't believe how much traction that was huge, man. Like, so many people are in the same boat. Like,
and it was really sad to see that some businesses are getting to the point where they're fucking done with it.
Yeah, like people taking up bus driving and things like that to fill the coffers.
Yeah. So, look, I know, and I know that this changes everywhere, but, you know, years and years ago, and I've talked about this before, as soon as it hit the 1st of September in Brisbane, it was machines on, let's roll.
Yeah.
And you stayed busy all the way through. Like, your jobs started fortnightly, and if you couldn't do them fortnightly, you know, in that September, certainly by November you had to be. But, you know what I mean? You were sort of getting off to a bad start if you weren't doing things fortnightly in September.
100%.
Now, or at least the last few years, even with last season being a busy season, you really don't need to get going until about October.
Last season was one of my, like, the heaviest seasons that I've done. I haven't actually.
Dude, you're saying last season, it's still fucking here.
Wow, that's true too. Yeah, we haven't stopped. So I don't know. Like, just take today for instance.
I mean, next week is winter, and you're chilling in shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, man.
I bet you've sweated like a motherfucker.
So bad. Like, I rolled up to work. I had a jumper on, and it wasn't zipped up or anything. And then fucking 15 minutes into work, it was gone. I was actually like, I was still breathing steam through it. And I was like, it's not even fucking cold. What's going on? I mean, the temperature has just dropped below 16 degrees. And that's one thing, like, once it drops below 16 degrees, then the grasses sort of start to pull up a little bit.
It's happened now, but I think, like, because it is around 16 degrees. But, mate, usually that would happen in the first week of May.
Well, I was looking at photos, like memories come up and around Easter time. So we always buy the kids Easter pajamas, and they're always fucking flannies or something like that. Like,
who the fuck
pants.
started that tradition?
I don't know.
Because...
Do you do it too?
Oh, me fucking missus does.
Well, you should see the fucking jammies I got. They're fucked.
Like you, yourself?
Yeah, I got Easter bunny pajamas.
Oh.
It looks like fucking 150 kilos of shit packed into like a 100 kilo bag. But it makes my piece look like a fucking rocket, eh? Looks like Elon Musk has designed something sweet. The slug.
I've talked about my track pants slugging.
Yeah, they're like track pants. So I only wear the bottoms. Then I like bust out like a blue wife beater for the top, just to even out the coolness.
My kids did ask me once, they're like, Dad, where's your pajamas? And I'm just like, man, I just fucking crash and whatever.
Oh, you don't join in? Oh, yeah, I've got grandpa pajamas and everything.
I had Christmas ones, which looked fucking like. I think I did a Catch Pro video in them.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So, and
shit.
What was fucked about that was like all my cousins that I don't see ever since since they might have seen me. They probably wouldn't have seen me since I was 15. They're all tagging all me aunties and that.
Oh, they're just like.
I know they would have been like, "Oi, fucking look at Ben now."
I've been looking forward to track pants weather, but it's just not fucking coming.
Oh, I'm fucking wearing tracky dacks already.
Are ya?
I got bad workwear ones.
Oh, well, I don't. I want some though. Maybe Santa can bring me some, eh? You got the hook up.
Yeah, because that'll be the right season, right?
These spuds will be boiling.
Yeah, speaking of bad workwear.
Oh.
Look at me new colour today.
That's a fucking cool colour.
I've pretty much almost probably exhausted all the colours.
You reckon?
Yeah, I probably got them all. I don't have.
You got a pink? High vis pink?
No, but you know who does?
Who?
The lovely Dee.
She does too.
So we're going to talk a little bit more... we'll continue with the topic in a minute. I do have some comments I just want to get to on YouTube because otherwise they get lost in the shuffle and people take the time out to get amongst it.
We got into a sidebar about my fucking piece anyway. So.
Yeah. Peel it back, eh?
Oh, yeah.
That's too much.
Grass clippings.
Someone texted me about something I must have said about my wife on last week's episode and I already can't remember.
I know exactly what it is, and I got a text as well.
So they didn't even tell me what I said. They just wrote "lol" about your wife, and or about Vicky or something. And I thought, geez, if she ever fucking tunes in,
Ben's wife mustn't listen to the podcast. Hey,
that's kind of like what I got
to
say. Yeah, she's too busy sitting on my face. All right, so we got Jaden Ribchester. He said another awesome show. Just a thought. I'd add still as the electric start option. It must have been in regards to the backpack.
Yeah, because I said how much better would it be if they had like a button
so
start?
I think we did know that, or not.
I didn't fucking know.
Okay, I think maybe what I was thinking was the pull. Even that hurts. The pull start.
Yeah.
On the.
Looks like you're giving someone a wristy behind your back.
Backhand tickler.
On a bus or something. Standing up on a train.
I've had that happen to me once.
Have you?
So, and he goes on to say, and the battery sprays that you're talking about sounds great. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the rest of it. He said he's got 2 Milwaukee backpack sprayers, which cost about $450 each. Can definitely see value in them if you'd sell a few.
Those Milwaukee ones have the swap tank too. I think you can swap the tanks out.
Oh man, that is so, like, people might see that as a gimmick, but I love that.
That's a good idea.
In fact, when Bush Ranger, they're looking at developing their own battery spray pack.
Yeah.
And they probably were fucking regretting it. They're like, oh, do you have any notes? And they're probably regretting it. I sent them fucking pages of notes. You know what I want? And by the way, this went nowhere. They haven't developed one yet. It's just that they're still working through processes.
Yeah.
But one thing that I pitched was the wand and the hose. I want like a tap on and off, so you can remove the hose just like a keg.
Yeah. Nice.
And the reason being is, you know, when you're fucking filling up your spray pack or you're putting it back on the rig and that fucking hose is always in the way, right? How slick would it be if you could just turn off a little tap, roll up the hose all nice, have a little jig, put a little clip there, you can hang the hose somewhere, then you can put your spray pack in your sprayer racks, which you can get from where?
Oh, I think you can get them at catchpro.com.au.
Yeah, now we shouldn't have plugged them because we don't fucking have any in stock. And we missed out. We might have them back in September. But thank you very much for the comment.
You know what they need to fucking do on backpack sprayers is, you know, the wand clips.
Mm-hmm.
They need to fucking get some decent clips, because how often do you clip your fucking wand on and then gone?
Yeah, so...
Or maybe you can ask an equipment defender if they can put a wand attachment, so you can just slip your wand in like a condom for you.
Oh, yeah.
We could call it a wand-on. Just...
Yeah, I was going to call it a cock shelter.
Yeah, cock shelter.
We're not supposed to say any of the C words on here. We do have a comment from Dujo.
I like it.
I don't know, DWJO. And it's got the U's with the little apostrophes on it.
Okay.
Always love the sidebars. This ep left me sidebar satisfied.
Oh, so good.
And thank you, Dujo, or however you say it. Just let us know, maybe.
Yeah.
Michael says, great vids, guys. Listen all the way from Port Macquarie to Sydney every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's mad.
Yeah, so maybe some sort of truckie or courier or something.
Yeah, cool.
Which is pretty cool. Gary says, hi. I like all the different things you talk about. Keep them coming. Awesome. Anthony Brown says, awesome watch. Now, this is the dude, JTK. He just wants to buy this mowing trailer.
Who's mowing trailer?
Well, I think, look, he left several comments. One was definitely about my trailer, but I think the other one was about yours.
Yeah.
I did direct him to Top Line Trailers. If anyone has seen the Bearded Lawnsman trailer, now, I don't know, does Top Line Trailers, do shit out of state?
Yeah, they transport stuff all over. It was hard when COVID, because that's when I got my new trailer. And I had so many people contact me and they're like, fucking how do I get one? I'm like, contact Top Line, and they're like, bro, we can't get anything out of state. So now it's all good though. If I can get onto them.
So, if you contact Top Line Trailers and ask for...
Petro, he's a good man. And ask for the lawnsman.
Oh, so it's not the bearded lawnsman.
No, it's just the lawnsman,
okay. Now, Jamie Woolley has commented here and he said, hey boys, I left a 5-star review on Spotify but don't know how to comment. So I thought I'd drop one here. Love the work you guys are putting in. These podcasts make a world of difference. I feel like we should put him in the comp.
Yeah.
He's clearly wants to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to remember?
I was going to write it down, but
do it.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Hang on.
Just write JW. Austin. This could be the bloke from the US. He said, couldn't listen for a while and now he's catching back up now. Well, thank you very much for tuning back in.
Oh, I love that though, when you miss out on your podcast and then all of a sudden you've got this spare time and just plug it in and away you go.
We have another comment from PJ, who is a regular here. Running a business is stressful regardless if solo or employees. As a solo operated business stops when you're sick. other than with employees, it still operates to some degree. That's very true.
Yeah.
Turnover is just a number and an ego boost for most. Couldn't agree with that more as well. Although it does, you know, like if you have a massive turnover, it obviously depends on your overheads.
Yeah.
You would like to think that you were earning more if you were turning over more.
Yeah.
Small business can have turnover, but relatively more successful than a larger operation that has lost the touch with society. It's how you use your money and invest that will make you rich, not the job that you do. Who reads this will understand, but who will write?
Like, who will, right?
Oh, who will, right?
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to read.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I didn't see any grammar, so I didn't read any grammar or speak any grammar.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just being a dog, to PJ. Sorry, PJ.
I love PJ. I used to work with him back in the day. Way back in the day.
Really? Is this a fucking lie?
No, it's legit.
Shit.
Yeah, bro. Fucking...
I used to smoke PJs back in the day.
Oh, so did I. Pack of 25s at $5.50 from Wynnum Central train station.
Oh,
the dude with the beagle. God damn.
And remember how you used to see the commercials on TV for cigs? Like, anyhow, have a Winfield.
Yeah, like Winnie Reds was like the sponsor of fucking NRL and shit.
Yeah, so...
Tina Turner out there having a dart.
Man, you getting beaten up, eh? Just comes out, she's like, oi, fucking, it's time to sing, eh?
Yeah, I'm simply the best.
Alright, so thank you very much for all of those comments on YouTube. That's the type of shit that keeps us in the game.
Fuck yeah.
Now, back to the seasons and struggles. Talk to me about what some of the struggles would be. Let's just start with winter. We're going to start in the middle of the year. What are some of the biggest struggles with winter that you can see?
We're a week away from winter, so I'm already thinking of these things, and it's so regulars drop off, and you don't always know how hard they're going to drop off. I've had some winters where, you know, customers have dropped off to monthly, which is fine. I kind of account for that. But
I think that's reasonable, right?
Yeah, but then I've had winters where you rock up and there's not a fucking blade of grass to be seen, and you're pushing these jobs out to 6 weekly, and your bank account's looking sad.
And how devastating is it when you get there and it's been a month?
Yeah.
And you can still see your fucking lines from last time.
So devastating, man.
Now, in the body corporate world, you know, and I guess in the commercial world as well, you just roll in there and fucking just start up a machine and just, you know, and that makes, you know, that's where the winters are fantastic.
Yeah.
But, you know, like even last year, you know, say when we would rock up to the 40 acres, now we were contracted to be there.
Yeah.
So we were getting our money. But you feel bad, don't you? You know, you get there and you're sort of like, oh man, you know, and for me, I know, like if I was a contractor, it'd be like, hell yeah, fucking, you know, go home, chill.
No.
But, you know, I remember that's when we started getting really busy with Catch Pro last winter.
Yeah.
Well, we had a big summer, but we're coming into the winter, we still stayed busy. And I was just like, man, I've got more fucking important things to do than stay here and pretend to mow grass.
But we started cutting down trees and shit like that.
We did.
40 acres.
We were good, wholesome contractors.
We were.
Good, honest contractors. Look, I don't think I'd be doing that all the time.
No.
To get the crust, but it was a chance to hang out with the boys.
That's it, yeah.
Fucking Rusty Will on the chainsaws.
Yeah, everybody's fucking.
Me and BJ just kicking back.
Yeah, there's passion behind the truck. But no, like I'll 100% say, like, the way I've set my business up, I've kind of tried to winter-proof my business and rain-proof my business. Like today,
how's the rainproof going for you?
It's going all right. Yeah.
Don't jump too far ahead because we got a whole ton.
No, but with the winterproofing, like I have a whole schedule that's set up of like, you know, tree trimming, all that sort of shit that you will never get to touch during summer, and you know, that's why I push my business towards these larger complexes, because there is work there all year round, and you can kind of justify staying on site and having a whole day just mashing out trees and fucking whatever else.
I mean, one thing that I always tried to do, you know, for years and years was, you know, in maybe say February, March, when you're being approached for garden cleanups or mulches, or it's still good to do the annual spraying. Like that's the turf spraying, like your broadleafs. It's good to get to them in March in our market.
Yeah.
Because you really kind of want to get to it when there is still a little bit of heat.
Yep.
Not too much heat, but when it's stone cold and nothing's growing, that spray is just nowhere near as effective.
Well, that's what
because
I'm
it works
about.
as the leaf takes in the chemical, burns the roots, right.
I've got a fucking spray job that was due before all this bullshit rain started.
See, we can probably still do it because it's still 22, 23 degrees during the day.
And fuck me if the weather report is always wrong, eh? Like, I stayed home yesterday. It was a beautiful day.
It wasn't that good though.
Well, it was at where I live.
Yeah.
But like all my work is here, so when I touched base with you yesterday, I was like, fucking made the right choice.
No, now I just want to tell everyone, we moved out of that property on Friday into this new one. We tried to get the removalists to take obviously all the belongings in the house, all the furniture and everything. They were able to do a bunch of the Equipment Defender boxes, which if anyone's ever bought some, you know, they got a little bit of weight to them. We had a whole storeroom full. And they got the bulkiness, and I went back yesterday morning, which is Monday, to grab the rest. You're saying it's a sunny day. I'm loading up. The sun was out, feeling pretty confident. Don't have to tarp this up. I've packed it in like Tetris. Like I fucking packed it mad so I could like get it all in. The minute I left, it fucking started pouring. And it's all right because like if you like what we were moving was say like spool racks or the open hand tool racks, and they're packed like 5 or 6 into another box.
Oh, okay.
So we can just take the outer box out.
Sweet.
But nevertheless, you still don't want.
No,
you know what I mean.
When you receive a package, you want it to look pretty.
And I put that post up on LMCA last night because I was so fucking defeated.
Yeah.
We were coming off the back of like what. 10 days of rain?
Yeah.
Of gloom and doom, man. Like, it just, like, seriously, I'm one of those dudes, I sleep with all the blinds open in the bedroom. I like to wake up, see that sunshine, and it makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, I'm committing suicide,
it's fun. Yeah, I felt for you, man. Like, I knew you were moving, and I was just like, hey, man, how you going? I didn't expect a good answer. Like, I was like, didn't want to be like, oh.
Well, like I said, the house is sweet, and definitely, you know, like I totally, I'm so thankful for all the people that have reached out, you know, because they know that we flooded.
Hey, have you? I don't know if we mentioned on the podcast the reason why your fucking property backed up so much.
I can't remember if we said it. I can't remember if we said it either, but essentially, where we've bought, we're actually. Backing onto a 27-acre farm property. It just has some horses and stuff like that, and they've got like this dinky little creek that runs through it, and it takes all of the water from numerous suburbs, and this shit is supposed to flow through and head out in Balimba Creek.
Yep.
And it goes under a road just around the corner, and it really is like you're living in the 50s here.
Yeah,
like
it's really. Built up around here, like just a little bit, like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, well, even if you go 2 minutes that way, you know, you're at the Wynnum Plaza, McDonald's, you got everything that you need. There's a new
estate just down the road.
Like, yeah, you got everything that you need, but you turn a corner and it feels like everything's flat. It's like it reminds me of like those American movies when they're in like Kansas City or something. Yeah, it's just the fucking plains.
Yeah.
Anyway, turns out so there's like a little. It's a creek, goes under the road. I'm assuming it has like the concrete culverts or whatever they are. When it comes out, there is a bottleneck. And when it fills up there, it starts filling up, and that's what fills up my property. And we could see it happening. And it turns out this fucking Uber driver was in this little fucking, I don't know.
It wasn't little, it was like a Camry or something. It wasn't.
Was it?
It wasn't a super small car.
Oh, I thought it was like a fucking Barina or something.
Oh, no, it was.
But anyway, he's driving over it, and the water must have come up over the road, which you could see, like, if you looked at it, you'd be like, yeah, man, if we had that amount of rain, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's got fucking swept into the drink, And what's actually happened is there's a wire fence in there.
Yeah.
So he's gone in, hit that, and it's just started fucking
backing up.
Immediately backing up. And that's why we got all the water that we got.
Yeah, because when, like, when you said your neighbours said, oh, it shouldn't be backing up like this. And then you were like, fucking tell me the next day someone's gone off the road and fucking filled your property.
Bastards fucking clogged the drain.
Yeah. It was like a big 13-inch sturge.
It's like a big group of Stephen Bukakis in one drain at once. So anyway, look, that's why. Now, what was I talking about before we got onto that one?
I think you were talking about moving house still.
Okay, but like to the episode, we were talking about winter of some sorts. But
yeah, we were talking about winter and things to
So
look out for.
So what I try and do is in your January's, February's, March, even now April, but. When clients are coming to you and they're like, oh, this hedge has gotten too big, we really want to get it trimmed down, or this garden needs mulch, I'm always telling these people, hey, can you please just hang on till June?
Yeah.
And then you keep banking up those jobs, and suddenly when you get to the period that we're in right now, when that, when it does get below 16 degrees, now this can happen in your, if you're in Victoria, it probably happens in April.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Well, we said on the last episode that someone had their first frost in Sydney, so... And
that was a fucking while ago. That was like 3 or 4 weeks. Now, if you're in tropical North Queensland, you're probably going to be like, I don't want to fucking listen to these dudes, right?
Fuck that bearded dog.
Yeah, fuck that bearded dog and that ski ramp nose motherfucker.
Like a mustachio.
Something, it's fucking pumping right now, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, something that I did hear, I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but apparently the axis is fucking out of line slightly.
Oh.
And the weather that we're experiencing in southern Queensland and northern New South Wales is similar or would be comparable to tropical Queensland.
Oh.
Because the fucking axis.
The axis of
Do you
the
say
planet.
axis or axes?
Axis, whatever floats
I say axis, but fuck, I'd love it if I said axes.
It does sound a little bit fancier. It sounds like a Terminator or a fucking Transformer or something.
If I had fucking glasses, that's how I'd say it.
Yeah, me too.
Get the bad
workwears
axes,
out.
eh?
Get the bad workwears out.
Nah, because I'm trying to plug them.
Yeah, but they look good. I like them.
Yep.
All my boys want them. It's fucking gloomy weather. What's better than a pair of clear glasses?
Hey, I never thought of that.
Because honestly,
I'm guessing our audiences are much smarter than me, because I have noticed people are grabbing one of each.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are they? Fucking $19 or $29 or something? You can't afford not to.
Yeah. No, well, I got 2 pairs. I got the fucking, what are they? Tinted, I guess. Tinted?
Just fucking sunnies, I'd
Sunny,
say.
yeah, just fucking
Tinted.
sunnies, tinted sunnies. But then I threw on the fucking clearies, and I was like, whoa, it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
I felt like Aladdin.
Can you sing it?
No. I already sung once before. I'm not going to fucking sing again.
I thought you were.
I already threw out some fucking Tina Turner.
You can be Aladdin, I'll be Princess Jasmine.
Oh my god. Get on my carpet, slut. Oh, fucking hell.
I'll give you a fucking Arabian face buster on there.
Oh, man.
So, before we get... there is obviously more to touch on in winter and struggles. Now, this episode is called Season and Struggles, but that's kind of just because it sounds cool.
Yeah.
We can also talk about the great points of winter.
Yeah.
So, if you have... I think last winter was a fairly mild winter in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Or Queensland. And it was a great winter.
Yeah.
Like, it was a super lucrative time.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it was overly wet. It was like...
It was steady.
Yeah.
I feel like it was steady. Like, you'd have like a little bit of night rain.
That's the good shit.
The good shit is the night rain. Although last night's night rain was fucking out of control.
It wasn't that bad here, I don't think.
Bro, I got woken up. I fucking sleep through everything.
Oh, shit.
And I got woken up and I was like, oh, it's not even time to get up yet. One of the shit points about winter, though, is getting out of bed. Fuck me dead. It's so dark. And it's like...
Cold?
It's not that
I'd say
cold
the
yet.
worst thing...
I think the dark is... It reminds me of back when I was doing night shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just no. That's probably not the worst part. The worst part for me is probably taking a morning sturge.
Really?
Sitting on that cold toilet seat.
Yeah,
and then you have a look at your package and you're like, oh man, it's just so cold, and just all tucked into the sack.
You're like thankful that you weren't circumcised, so you've just got a bit of fluff on the outside.
I am circumcised.
Oh.
No, I'm just thankful that no one else is there to see it.
Like stand up in the mirror and you're like, ugh, like try and puff your chest out, like try and feel better about yourself before you go to work. Just leave on a shit note.
Your wife would just be coming in and just be like, excuse me, Ben. You'd be like, shut up, wife, it's cold.
Yeah. It's a grower, not a shower.
But I feel sorry for like women or like pussy dudes who sit down and wee all the time.
Yeah. Because every time you gotta like.
Yeah, every time you have to go through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, look, winter is definitely. I love winter because you get like. Look, I don't love winter, but I love winter when you can get into, you can start trimming hedges and you can whip a snip and everything and just not be so freaking hot.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that part.
Yeah, dude. Jumping ahead again anyway, we started doing our winter work early because my big fucking booty was juicing up some lawns today. I was stepping on and I know shit was dropping about 2 inches into the turf. And this is turf that like...
Good established turf.
It's good established turf. Like it's from a fucking 30-year-old village that's never been aerated or anything. Except for by me once. And it is waterlogged.
Yeah. Now, we might just get straight into summer just because we keep going there.
Yeah.
And if we have to, we'll come back to winter.
But it's not even fucking summer, mate. We're a week away from winter.
Yeah, but we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of meat on the bone with summer.
True that, meat on the bone.
So, when we're talking about struggles, man, obviously the wet season comes to mind. But, we've talked a lot about the heat and health issues. It's really just a bastard of an industry, isn't it? I mean, look, the industry has been very good to me.
Yeah.
I'd say it's been really good to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's been good to so many others. But it's the epitome of hard yakka, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And there's no real let up. Like, if you have... We've heard people say that, look, we're going through some pretty bad times, but we had such a great summer that we're lucky because, we put some money in the bank and we made extra and this and this and this, but which is great. But wouldn't it be fucking good if you could have a win in the winter as well?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people say that their most lucrative time is winter. Like, you got your cleanups, your mulch jobs, all that shit. Like, we're going to clean up on fucking mulching this year. I reckon I'll do a couple of 100 cubes.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, legit. I mean, by the time... it's not even my work, and I know that by the time you do both the villages, you're already at 150 cube.
Yeah. So, yeah, man.
That's probably even maybe more. 160 maybe.
So I've got one... There's another side. I've got one village. It's about 7 acres, 90-something... people, 90-something houses. Fuck me dead if they don't buy bales of sugarcane.
Oh, no way.
100%. I've tried. Like,
those
I can
cheap
get
bastards.
Yeah,
just lay it down and it just fucking blows away in the wind,
mate. It literally, it's fantastic. The gardens are beautiful. The soil is immaculate because not only do we fucking do sugarcane mulch, but we also like just put our pack of shit everywhere.
Yeah, but what you got to do with that, or what they should do with that, is they should put it in. Turn it over a little bit because it breaks down really nice.
Really quickly too.
Yeah, and then mulch it because you're right. It's awesome for the soil.
Yeah, well, that's what we normally do. We'll throw the alpaca shit in and we'll fucking throw a fork through it. But then, man, it just is... You have to mulch 3 times a year. It's ridiculous. Breaks down so quick. It's for veggie gardens and like small like rose gardens, shit like that.
Yeah, see, that's why they do it. Fucking rose gardens, and there's nothing worse than when those fucking old bitches start pruning their roses and they just drop
them. Oh my god!
What the fuck is wrong with those people?
Oh my god!
You fucking lean down and immediately you cop a stinger and you're like, you come up and you're like, fucking.
That's why you need a pair of fucking hard work gloves.
Yeah, and some of Vicky's knee pads.
Well, I've got a pair of knee pads in the car too. Oh no.
Yeah, it's probably getting. I probably got to lay off the missus a bit.
Yeah, she's gonna fucking. Well, you know, my wife listens.
Yeah, but
and you know they have lunch every week, or.
What are you gonna say here?
My wife will be like, "What brand of knee pads do you have?"
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, "You bastard, my knees are fucked when you got knee pads in the car." She's not American, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're doing ancestry.com to find out what the fuck we are.
Are you doing that?
Yeah.
What do you do? Just quick.
You have to spit in a tube. You can't eat half an hour before, so I've fucked up so many times. I'm like, I need to wait half an hour and I'll just get up and have a drink. Because you can't have a drink or anything. You have to just have like straight up just fucking...
That's probably a good thing. Like, just imagine me with just cigarette mouth and coffee mouth and just slagging into a tube.
Slag into a tube and it's just this fucking brown muck.
Just septic spit, eh? Boy.
Well, who knows, man? Because Lou's dad is adopted. I don't know my biological dad. Apparently I've walked past him a few times, but that's a fucking whole nother story.
When I see that fucker, I'm going to punch him.
Yeah, or I'll fucking take his wallet.
No, just be like, "Hey, Dad, can I have a cuddle?"
Yeah. Imagine that. He'd be like, "I'm fucking 97 years old." No, apparently he's fucking old as shit, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like...
well, if anyone wants us to...
If anyone out there is my daddy...
That's not what I was going to say.
Okay.
I'm really fascinated by that ancestry stuff. So, because my background, my grandparents are Dutch.
Yeah.
And my other grandparents, well, I'm pretty sure they were just straight up Aussies, which... you know, is probably can be traced back pretty easily to, the convicts or whatever.
There's some wild shit in my family. Like my granddad, I didn't know, but he's got like a fake name.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I could be.
Well, BJ's kind of a fake name.
No,
right?
BJ's a fake name. Yeah, but you've spilled my real name on this before.
Brent and
something else.
What is it?
No, it's Brenton.
Yeah. No, and that's what I thought.
Yeah. Papa, can you hear me?
No, what I was going to say is, if anyone wants us to follow the story of BJ on doing the ancestry thing, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, man. It is really fascinating. I have no idea what's going to come up. And, yeah. Bloody hell.
They just tell you fucking like...
I hope I'm like a Viking or some shit.
That'd be mad. Yeah, they tell you all that. And they tell you if any of your relatives were crims, stuff like that.
Imagine if one was like, your great uncle McDougal was a sex slave. And I'll be like, a
sex slave? Poor bastard.
Just like,
just been sitting in a
He's
chamber.
He's got the same mustache as you, just fucking covered in leather.
Yeah, just constant pash rash, eh? That is so fucked up. All right, let's switch back to the episode.
Fair enough, yeah. We're really helping people's businesses.
Well, at least they might be getting some entertainment. I'm actually holding back a laugh. So
yeah, that's cool.
So look, in the summertime, guys, can you just take the floor?
Can you? All I can see is Mr. Slave.
Yeah.
Remember Scotty?
No, I'm still looking at the pash rash, but
Mr. Slave. Oh fuck.
So obviously we have the wet season, which is just really full on in summer. But on the flip side to that, we've had these horrible dry summers as well.
Yeah.
Where what I've noticed in the last couple of years, obviously not the last year or two, but your days start getting really, really, really hot in October. But the rains were not really coming until December.
Yeah.
And it just cooks the grass. Like
it's proper when you need the catch road dust cover on.
Oh yeah, man, because you be getting bukakied like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But look, it's one thing to be mowing wet grass. It's another thing to be mowing dry yellow grass. When do we ever get an opportunity to mow that beautiful grass?
That's not too long, it's not too short, it's just right.
Yeah, and...
the Goldilocks grass.
Look, I'd say like your times would be probably. I would probably say usually it's autumn, but we have not had that.
No, I thought it'd be right now.
We have not had that at all in autumn.
Yeah.
You know, autumn is one of those seasons where I do believe autumn is the time where you should be catching up and preparing for winter.
Yeah.
You know, just getting your ducks in a row. Now, a lot of this talk right now doesn't, like, we can't talk. It just hasn't happened this autumn. You haven't been able to fucking plan for a thing.
No.
You got acreage, like you can't put machines on paddocks. You know, you can't hire staff.
No. Can't fucking hire staff anyway.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right now.
Give us a quick update.
So I got all my guys. They're all sorted. They all turn up to work. One of them's got a license. I'm fucking happy. They're all doing great work. You guys fucking kicking golds.
Me? What did you say?
The new guys kicking goals.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you guys, and I was like,
no, the new guys kicking goals.
Who the fuck is behind me?
No, yeah, dude. I've chucked him on a snipper, fucking upright edges like a king. And you know what's really good? That fucking Ego battery snipper's good for training because he wasn't flogged out at the end of the day.
Yeah, well,
I put him on the 301, the bushy 301, and he did like a couple of hours of snipping, and he was like, bro, Saturday I could barely fucking lift my arms.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're a strong dude or a woman out there, it's all about that muscle memory and kind of training those muscles. You know, learning how your body likes to hold it and what feels comfy.
Yeah. So he's coming along good. So I told him a couple more weeks and I'm having a fucking 2-day holiday. I said, it's all on you.
2-day Pash Fest, eh?
It's gonna be something like that.
So, you know, we I guess this autumn, you know, like we said, was kind of a write-off, but usually this, like the autumn season is where it's like that heat, it just takes the sting out of it.
Yeah.
You know, so like you still get hot, you still sweat, you still might work in a singlet, even though it's unprofessional, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, instead of, you know, putting on the sun cream every hour or drinking, you know, liters and liters of water, it's usually that great period where, what I've also noticed, it's not very windy. It's usually not windy.
Well, we've had a bit of wind out. Like I'm a bit closer to the coast than you, and I've got a direct shot straight out to the bay. So we've had a fair bit of wind because we're on top of a hill. So it's a bit different.
So usually what happens is in the summertime, you usually get, well, where we are, we get tons of easterlies. It's the wind coming off the ocean.
Yeah.
And it usually picks up by, let's say, 10 a.m. and it can fucking blow its tits off all day.
Yeah.
In the winter and autumn, early spring, you get a lot of southerlies and westerlies, and it's usually not a howling wind. It's usually pretty nice and stable. If you have a look out at any ocean in these months, it's usually not very choppy.
Yeah. Well, we went for a drive on the weekend and it was fucking glassy as.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because the wind, it's a real factor, right? I mean, you've got rain and, you know, you've got heat, you've got all those things, but wind is another thing.
Especially if you do things like blowing car parks and the villages that I do, like you have to get that fucking blowing done before the wind picks up, or you're going to be, you know, it can add an extra 40 minutes to your blowdown time because you're just chasing it around fucking up a street, down a street.
Oh, it just bounces off all
and
those
then you're just
walls.
like, fuck, you just blow it into a pile and get one of the boys to scoop it up. But by the time they get there, it's back down the fucking other end of the street. But yeah, I totally agree with you. You got to get to it.
Yeah. Now, something else about summer, which I see as a struggle, is your scheduling and all your appointments and stuff. Like everything gets locked in at a certain date, and that part of it's easy. But that's if you're like prepared and, you know, really anal about all that stuff.
And you don't encounter any issues.
Yeah, if you're not disciplined and the season starts taking off without you,
you
know, you're already a step behind. That's what I think.
It's the hardest thing to catch up. you know, talking about summer and scheduling and things like that, where to one person it's a disadvantage, to the next person it's an advantage. So what I've always done, and I don't want to sound like a dog, but so when you're in summer, people are going to fail. People are going to fucking let jobs go too long, and especially like people doing body corporate, doing commercial sites, things like that, because they're like, oh, they can wait. New guys, like in my experience, this is when you go on the hunt. You fucking hit, you know, you could set your whole winter up. You hit all of these commercial sites, these fucking industrial parks. Someone will be dropping the ball and you can be there to catch it. So,
and I mean, sometimes it's one man's trash is another man's treasure. Like
that's
sometimes
true.
There could be like an amazing job where you're like, man, I wish I was doing that property. And the people that are doing it can be like, man, I wish I'd just get fucking fired. But you wouldn't know.
No, that's exactly right.
And, you know, sometimes, look, I would say that the most neglected jobs or job sites are ones of those where the contractor is not 100% happy.
Yeah.
Because if a contractor was 100% happy at that particular site, they would probably be doing whatever they could to make it, you know, like, so they wouldn't get fired.
Yeah.
You know?
So we picked up one that led to another, which led to another. Because sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes in one of these big industrial areas, all you need is one job, and we've actually got the nicest job on this whole street. It's like a massive big fucking U-banger full of all these little places. So we got 3 there now, but it was a shithole. The dude would come, they literally said, oh, he comes whenever he sort of wants to, and I'm like, well, I'll be here every fortnight in summer, I'll be here monthly in winter, we'll do the weed spraying, we'll fucking do that, and I fucking, you know, gave them all everything they wanted to hear, and they were just like, when can you do it? And that led to one across the road, it led to one up the road, so I just want to snake the whole thing. But
I'll tell everyone what a pretty good hack is, right? If you ever looking into body corporate stuff, just keep in mind that the committees will have quarterly meetings. And now there's no set rule for when those quarterly meetings are, but if you ever try and do your approaching toward the end of that quarter, what's great is it's fresh in their minds and they can bring it up at the minutes. If you hit them right when they've already resolved an issue with their current contractor, so like let's say they had a meeting, they were considering dropping them, but they haven't dropped them, they're turning over a new leaf, they're starting fresh, and then you approach them, then they've still got that, because no one could really make a decision unless they vote.
That's it,
within the committee. But, you know, you get to them to the tail end of when that meeting is coming up, and it's like, hey, our gardener sucks and we've got these dudes. Do we want to take a look at them? That's the good thing about it. The bad thing about it is that usually if they decide they're getting quotes, you're going to be waiting another 3 months before it gets approved. Usually, unless the situation is so bad that they have what's called a flying minutes, where they can just be like, sometimes there's only four members. I don't think they can have more than 7, right?
No, I don't think so. Not on a committee,
So, well, I know that...
I think they can... I think 4 is the minimum and 7 is the maximum.
Yeah, okay. So... you know, if you get in those situations where it's a really good committee, in fact, I don't think they can have 4 because then they can break even on votes.
Well,
it really is one of those systems.
I've got one that's got 3.
That's what I mean. Because then they can go 2 versus 1. Then it has to be, you know, if 2 people vote that yes and 2 people vote no, then they just will never get anything resolved. You know what I mean?
True,
you look a bit lost.
No, I get you. No, but I've been told that...
I'm lying on air to my boss.
I've been told that 3 is not a legal amount.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
I'm just fucking going, well, I've been told.
Maybe I am fucking lying.
Yeah, maybe you just make it shit up.
So, that was just a little hack.
Another hack is look for commercial real estates.
Oh, well, if anyone finds out how to do it, let me know, because it was something that I looked into and I just couldn't break through anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, but get the fucking yellow pages out, just go for it. I mean, a lot of this game is about who you know, and the relationships you make with someone who's like a fucking $40 mow might lead to a, you know, $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 contract. So
absolutely,
one of mine,
there's nothing truer than that, and that's why it always goes back to networking.
Yeah, one of mine's a $60 mow, and because I helped her in a time of need, she passed on that information to someone, and they passed it on to someone, and I ended up with a fucking massive village, and I've had it for 4 years now. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to the program.
Oh yeah.
So in the summertime, you know, obviously your big struggle is your organising.
Yeah.
The work is fairly demanding. What I wanted to probably sort of not wrap up the episode on, but at least talk about a little bit is with all of this rain. Now, for anyone who is not in an area that is experiencing the amount of downfall that we've had, like we've had, I think Brisbane or Queensland, whatever, averages like 17 or 1800 mils in a year. That's the yearly average. We hit that mark in May.
Yeah.
From January to May.
So yeah.
So that's, you know, 12 months of rainfall in a couple of months.
Yeah.
What I wanted to sort of touch on a little bit is, you know, obviously the mowing is terrible. It's almost a no-go.
Yeah.
Try and be as proactive as you can. Now, we talked a little bit before. I put a post up, and I'm not even an operator anymore, but the weather was just depressing me because everything's wet. My dogs are fucking trailing mud everywhere. My boots are thrashed. You know, both pairs of boots are thrashed and all wet and waterlogged.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what contractors are going through.
Yeah.
Not being able to provide a service and make money.
Yeah.
All I can really say is try and be as proactive as you can, even though it's not fun. You can still go out and hedge. You can still go out and whippersnip. Now, I'm not saying go out and whippersnip 10 lawns a day.
You can definitely, if you've got smaller lawns that you can snip.
Yeah, that you can. And I think the biggest thing as well, and this is what is really going to save you the most, and I want to be really serious, and I want everyone to really listen up, but I think it goes back to the communication. If you see that it's raining outside and it's like the second or third day in a row and you've already made the decision, it's a fucking washout, I'm not going out, contact those clients as soon as you can. Communicate with them, tell them, hey, it's just too wet, let's revisit this when it's a bit drier, when we have a sunny day. If you write that day off, go down to the pub or play video games, do whatever it is, you have the right to do that, but take care of business first.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, these other people, and you just talked about it before, we live like, 20 minutes away?
Yeah.
You said it's sunny, I say it's pissing down.
Yeah.
Now, that can happen if you're working in a 3 or 4 suburb radius.
Yeah.
Man, that shit can happen so easily.
Yeah, like, well, Leroy's down at Waterford, and he'll be like, it's fucking raining. I'll be like, I've been mowing for about 2 hours already.
That's right.
So, like, he's half an hour down the road.
Mate,
you're another half an hour up the road.
The other day, I was fucking driving in, like, proper torrential rain where I was like, man, I'm going to have to pull over. And I fucking turned down into a different street and I was fucking high and dry. And I was like, what the hell? And where I'm living now on this street, like I talked about, it's a big flat area. Everyone's got a tin roof. You can hear it coming up the street.
Oh, really?
It depends which direction it's coming from. But you can actually hear like the and you'd be like, holy fuck, it's coming, I've got 5 seconds, you know. So, look, I think that's good advice. Communicate with everyone.
Yeah.
Now, if you're on the flip side of this and you're like, man, I have to work.
Yeah.
Like, I need money. I have to work. I have to get the boys working. I have to work. I would still be communicating with those customers and saying, look, I know it's really wet. You know, could you possibly see, is there a chance we could still mow? Or maybe to make up the income, you know, maybe can we pressure clean the back.
Yeah, pressure clean.
Do anything like that to make up. The reason why I'm bringing it up is that I saw so many people struggling where they could be potentially closing their businesses, and I'm not saying that they haven't done any of this, because chances are that they have.
Yeah.
But if you're in a situation where, how many thousands of dollars have you given up in the last month?
Fucking.
You miss one of your sites, that's $2,000 gone. Right?
Yeah, straight away.
There's only so many hits a small business.
And it's not just me, like the boys.
Yeah,
the boys. Fuck, man. I had this guy on first week, 1 day.
Yeah.
That's it. Second week, he got a full week in, but I lost money because I put them on a property that just was not. We shouldn't have. It was the 40 acres, and I just shouldn't have done it. But I just wanted to, show him the jobs. I needed him to learn the route. So, yeah. But
yeah, I just definitely think if you're communicating, if you're like, hey, maybe could we trim the hedge, or can we turn the mulch over in the garden? And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun. No, you're going to be working in the pits, but at least you will be able to earn something.
Yeah.
I've been in a situation before where I'm like, I had $400 or $500 on the day, and I knew that I was going to get fuck all of it done. I'm like, what's the point? Yeah. But that's the wrong attitude. I think if you can look at it at the end of a 7 or 14 day period, or even now that we're in winter, on a 4-week cycle, and let's say you go out and do whatever it is that you can do, instead of earning, next to nothing, you'll be able to look at it and say, well, at least I made 60% of what my forecast was. Yeah. And then at least it provides a little bit of breathing room so that you're not in a position where you have to close your businesses.
Yeah. That's horrible. That's a horrible thing to think about. But, it's just it's getting crazy out there. Like, there is just a lot of people that are getting bombarded. I think we're coming out the other side, apparently. Apparently.
I haven't actually had... It rained a little bit this morning at about 7:30.
Yeah.
I don't believe we've had any other rain today, which is great because it was like a 90% chance of rain.
All day. See, that's another thing too. Don't go by the weather forecast. I got bitten yesterday. 90% chance, 10 to 20 mils all day. I've set my thing for Wakeley because, that's pretty close to where the boys live, pretty close to where my jobs are. Message the boys in the morning. They're like, yeah, look, it's raining here. It's not too bad. This is at 5:30 in the morning. I was like, look, we'll just call it, man. It seems like it's going to be a dog of a day. Fuck me sideways if it wasn't just like a pretty nice day most of the day. For me anyway, but...
Well, like I said...
you were saying that...
I was only in Loader, and I got caught in... it might have only rained for 5 minutes, but it rained so heavy, you couldn't... you already couldn't justify walking around on the grass. Once
I can deal with that. So the way I'm set up, like today, I couldn't get on the grass, so we just did tree reductions, hedge reductions. I said, blow some of these gardens out. We'll take all the leaves out. We'll fucking get them ready for mulching. We may as well start this shit early. It's going to kick in soon, so if we can get a head start on that, people will have to deal with the couple of inches of extra growth. But next week, if it dries up enough, we'll just go back to that part of the village and we'll start there, and we'll move on. Gotta do what you gotta do to get through.
Yeah, and it comes back to the communication too. Like, if you're telling the village managers that, hey, look, this zone's going to miss mowing, but when it dries up, what we'll do is we'll move on now. We'll move on to the next zone, even though it's not due yet. Let's get a head start on the hedges, When the weather does dry up, we can come back and we can do a big mowing day or a mowing 2 days, whatever the case.
That's pretty much word for word what I said to the chairman of the committee. So
I'm fucking gangster.
That's what he got, man. That's what he got.
Anything else to add to seasons and struggles? Is there anything else?
I just want to tell everyone, sort of keep your fucking heads up, eh? It is a horrible time of the year. It's unusually bad for this time of the year.
Completely completely out of character.
All the way up and down it's all the way up and down the East Coast, isn't it?
Yeah, I think like far up north has been okay. It seems to be swinging in like around that mid-north coast.
Yeah, and
coming down.
Already today,
Seriously.
I've seen some fucking thing about the blue streak in off the Cape of South Africa is going to cause another big weather.
Oh my gosh, the removalist was saying the same thing.
Yeah, see, everybody...
He's like, when Africa's dry, it's wet as fuck here.
Yeah, so I was talking to a guy who lived in Cape Town, and he's like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, it's kind of like Melbourne weather there. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't really know that. But yeah, all over the news, people send it to me, and which is fine. Like, I love being informed, but just don't stress about it yet. It's, take every week as it comes and try and get ahead of it. And
yeah, you have to... Look, I think... It's great to be prepared and looking ahead, but live in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's the same as well. And this would be, I guess, advice to you, as much as you probably don't care, but I would get up every day with the boys, and I'd go to site. And if it really is that bad, you cut the boys off.
Yeah.
And at least, and then you've taken the gamble. That can be really difficult if it just looks torrential outside.
Yeah.
But at least you can say, look, I know that's what used to help me sleep at night.
Yeah. Don't you get the guilt too? And try not to get the guilt. Like, if you do call it, like, that's, it's a judgment call. You don't control the fucking weather. Like, I get the guilt, so I don't want you to get the guilt.
I get the guilt so bad that
everybody probably gets the guilt, man.
Yeah. Yesterday I just had to get that last bit of rubbish from the old property. I was doing a tip run. I couldn't get it all. It was just raining so bad, and I cracked it. I left, and the whole afternoon I was sitting there and thinking, like, man, you had like 10 minutes. Why don't you just pull through, get it on the rig? Part of the reason why I couldn't is I just ran out of room. But if it was a beautiful sunny day, I could imagine I would have looked at it and it would have been like, oh, fuck, I could squeeze a little bit more in here. I could shuffle this around. Yeah. But it was just fucking pouring.
Yeah.
No, it's been a tough period. Hopefully we can have an episode soon where it's just like a great positive part of, the season where, we can encourage
and just fucking enjoy what we're doing for a while. Instead of having fucking wet feet and fucking tropical ball bags all day.
Oh, speaking of ball bags, we're still a little bit flooded, and I got 2 Labradors, and we didn't have any boundary fences at the other place, the way that it was set up. And we do here, and they just sit at the side gate, and it's probably, got maybe 50 mil of water on top. Which is not really an over-exaggeration, eh? You just see my dogs, just sitting in there and they're ball bagging all their shit's just in the water, and you're just like, they come up on the deck and they're just like, man, they're just full of muck.
Do they leave little like bumhole prints with ball bag prints when they sit down?
Nah, it's just like a big smudge.
Just a big poo smudge.
Yeah. No, it's not a poo smudge.
But
it's just a wet spot. Yeah, and I can't let them in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And they're looking at me like, oi, human owner, you're the fucking dog, eh? And I'm like...
That's exactly
and I'm like, oh, man, like, I want to.
Don't
but it's just so... And everything fucking stinks.
Yeah. Oh, my God. One of the fucking boys left, like, a pair of socks and I don't know if it was, like, a wank towel and a fucking jumper in the back of my ute. Lifted it up and I was like... I was like, what the fuck happened in here? It smells like 2 homeless men fucking the shit out of each other.
Oh, boy.
Too graphic?
Pretty full on.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, well, I think it's time to wrap this up, this episode up on seasons and struggles. Hopefully we don't need to talk about that again for a while.
Let's not do it.
Until the next episode, which will be dropping on Sunday. We'll see you then. I am at Catch Pro. He is at TBL, and we are out of time.
Peace.